The Arizona Wildcats win this game against the Weber 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 State Wildcats. Final score: Arizona Wildcats 68 to the Weber State Wildcats 69 or 59. um, it's hard because the 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 Arizona Wildcats were playing their okay. They've never a tournament is never in the NCAA tournament history has a number 16 seed beat a number 1 seed, and the Arizona Wildcats did not want to be the first time that anything like that happened. So the Arizona Wildcats were. I feel that the Arizona Wildcats were playing this game uh, against the Weber State Wildcats. Uh, the Arizona Wildcats were playing not to lose, and that's hard. It's hard. It's easy to fall into the mode or into the feeling of playing not to lose, especially whenever you're playing a number 16 seed. The Arizona Wildcats were ahead by 21 at one point. Uh, it was 50 to 30, I remember, at one point. But then the Weber State Wildcats just started coming back and started breaking it down and getting back slowly but surely. Um, and a lot of that was had to do with Davion Berry from Weber State Wildcats, and he had 24 total points. I think he had 5 in the first half. He had 5 total points in the first half, but then the second half he had 19 points. So he got his due, and he made every single one of his 10 free throws. So he was 10 for 10 from free throw land. Um, so he so Devion Berry from the Weber State Wildcats, he started feeling pretty comfortable, and actually he could have brought. He was almost successful in bringing the Weber State Wildcats within within range, maybe to beating the Arizona Wildcats, but that didn't happen. Um, and we saw some really nice slams. There was a lot of slam dunks. There was one from Rondé Hollis-Jefferson where he dribble penetrated and just threw it down with his left hand. So it was pretty spectacular. Let's see, the turnovers were one thing that was kind of scary for Aaron Gordon from the Arizona Wildcats, and he had 3 turnovers. The Arizona Wildcats had 12 total turnovers this game, which is not. I don't think that's one of the stats that's going to make Coach Sean Miller from the Arizona Wildcats very happy. Is 12 turnovers, because he usually likes less than 10 turnovers a game. And if the Arizona Wildcats are going to play against Gonzaga or Oklahoma State on Sunday, I think, then they're going to have to cut down on their turnovers. And let's see, free throws. The Arizona Wildcats were having a very hard time with free throws. Again, they shot 56% from free throw land. They made 9 out of 16. Aaron Gordon made 1 out of 4. But the guys, they look at Aaron Gordon, and a lot of people have said that he's a good shooter. It's he shoots like 80 or 85% whenever he's in practice. But then whenever it's game time, then Aaron Gordon from the Arizona Wildcats, something happens to him, and it gets in his head or something, and he can't drop his free throws very very much. And Sean Miller, the coach from the Arizona Wildcats, was saying that that free throws is one of the reasons why the Arizona Wildcats might have a hard time in the tournament. Winning a game in the tournament, and we'll see if that's one of the things that is valuable to the Arizona Wildcats is free throws. Whenever the Arizona Wildcats play against Gonzaga or Oklahoma State. Let's see. You got another thing was the rebounds. Arizona Wildcats got out-rebounded. I think it was the third or the fourth time that the Arizona Wildcats were out-rebounded. It was the offensive rebounds that Weber State had 13 offensive rebounds. I'm looking at ESPN stats here, so it might be different whatever you look at Yahoo Sports or if you look at Sporting News or things like that. But the Weber State Wildcats had 13 offensive rebounds, while the Arizona Wildcats had 7 offensive rebounds. 3 of those offensive rebounds for the Arizona Wildcats were from Aaron Gordon, so that was pretty cool. But Joel Bolamboy, he had 7 offensive rebounds, and so he was one of the major contributors to the Weber State Wildcats, why they had so many rebounds. And actually, Joel Bollenboy had 16 total rebounds, and that was so he made a huge impact on the amount of rebounds that they had. I was looking at T.J. McConnell because I always look at the amount of assists that he had, and he had 4 assists, which usually goes good if T.J. McConnell has over 10 points. But 4 or more assists is okay for T.J. McConnell if he has more than 10 points total. But he didn't score any points at all in this game. T.J. McConnell didn't score any points at all in this game. So it was just a very, very weird game. Nick Johnson had 18 points. He made 4 out of 6 from 3-point land, so he did pretty good from 3-point shooting. It was just a very awkward game. Hopefully, the Arizona Wildcats will be able to play their format and play how strong they want to play against Gonzaga or Oklahoma State. I know that from reading that the Weber State Wildcats were very concerned about Caleb Tarczewski and how much he was going to have an impact on this game. The big guy, 7-footer from the Arizona Wildcats. He had 5 blocks, and I think that the Arizona Wildcats have never got more than 5 blocks for the whole team in any game this year. So he had 5. Caleb Tarczewski had 5 blocks himself, and then Aaron Gordon had 5 blocks also himself. So let's see, that was Rondé Hollis-Jefferson that had 2 blocks. So it was 12 blocks. So that's a total of 12 blocks. So going from 5 blocks as a team to going to 12 blocks as a team is a huge difference. But one of the things is that they were whenever the Arizona Wildcats were not playing not to lose, then they were kind of sloppy with the ball, and that shows up in their turnovers with 12 turnovers. But it also shows up big time in the amount of steals. Arizona had 4 steals, but the Weber State Wildcats were able to steal. They had 8 steals, and they were just lazy passes, or just I think that Weber State just kind of anticipated and were able to steal a lot of the passes from the Arizona Wildcats that the Arizona Wildcats were trying to do. So the Arizona Wildcats only had 4 steals, but then the Weber State Wildcats had 8 steals, which is scary. We had Elliott Pitts knocked down a free field goal, so that was pretty cool. We had an assist from Jordan Mays, Jordan Mays is a second stringer, bench player, so that was pretty cool also. Let's see, Korchek we got a defensive rebound from Korchek, so that was that was helpful. If we had anybody in foul trouble, Aaron Gordon was in foul trouble with 4 fouls. But anyway, the Arizona Wildcats were able to contain the Weber State Wildcats, because the Weber State Wildcats only shot 30% field goal percentage. That was their Weber State's field goal percentage was 30%. And the Arizona Wildcats were able to shoot 50% from 3-point land, 7 for 14. And I think that had a lot to do with Gabe York, and also had a lot to do with Nick Johnson. Gabe York had 9. Okay. Well, so the Arizona Wildcats win this game against the Weber State Wildcats. Final score: Arizona Wildcats 68 to the Weber State Wildcats 59. The Arizona